Well, this is Duran back in form in the fall of 1993 with too much information at number 35 on my fancy playlist October 17th, 1993. This is one underrated jam of a record. Got that blistering solo guitar. This is rocking Duran. This, I'll just go ahead and flat out say it. This is a throwback to some of their early hits like Hungry Like the Wolf, and Real. It's just Duran coming back a little bit to their roots. Had some fantastic records out in the early 80s. Girls on Film, there was Planet Earth in 1981. Both of those were British hits, not so much here in America. Their big American debut was Like the Wolf, and then there was Rio and Union of the Snake, and of course New Moon on Monday, one of my favorite Duran records. Wild Boys in the fall of 1984. Then, well, Duran, they just kind of split apart. The rocking part of Duran became, I think it was Andy and John Taylor. Don't quote me on their names because I'm speaking off the cuff. They became members of Power Station, and then the other part of Duran became Arcadia. Arcadia had that hit. There was Love Is Forever, I believe, was one of them, and then there was Re-Election Day in late '85, Arcadia. Then Duran, they came out basically with these. I guess it was all right. These all dance records like Notorious in 1986, and I believe the other one was called I Don't Want Your Love in 1988. So it's really nice for them to come back with a hit, but it was not one of their biggest records. And Too Much Information, they took a swipe at MTV. MTV helped Duran propel themselves into the American mainstream, into the American pop culture, into Billboard's Hot 100. MTV helped launch this, well, I would call the second British invasion, played a huge role in that, starting in 1982 and 83 with groups like Culture Club, Duran, and thinking of some of the more obscure ones like Haircut 100, Human League, anyway, God, it rocks. I love the acoustic. I love this record. Hitline was all over it. Muzak's top 40 rockin' outlet. They were playing the heck out of this record. Was not one of Duran's biggest hits, though. Went to number 35 in England, number 45 here in the States on Billboard's Hot 100. Although now, don't get me wrong, their first two singles were huge. Ordinary World was a massive comeback for Duran. It was probably their first top 10 hit here in the States in about 5 years. And there was Come Undone, which was just danceable, just a what I would call a high-tech dance record or just a techno-pop record, and then Too Much Information. This was very aggressive record. I loved it. I got into it. I immersed myself in it. Too Much Information. Now, well, don't quote me on this. The album informally called the Wedding Album, but was self-titled Duran. Apparently, from what I've read, the record company was not enthusiastic about putting out this album. That's according to Duran's management, their new management, which was called Left Bank. They were sort of appalled. They were like, they don't want to put this album out. And their manager was like, Left Bank, they're working with Duran and Meatloaf trying to put them back in circulation on the pop scene, on the pop charts. But the record companies just wanted to focus on the next hip thing, the next new band. And of course, that's natural. It happens all the time. By the mid 90s, Duran, they were all in their mid 30s, mid to late 30s, I believe, by that time. But the album, when they came out with the album, it went to number four in the UK album charts. Duran, the album. Did well here in the States too. Electric Barbarello Barbarella, I believe is how you pronounce it, 1997. That was another great Duran Duran record, a comeback record for Duran Duran. But a lot of people don't remember that one, Electric Barbarella. I can't pronounce the word. Well, pull it up on YouTube and check it out if you haven't heard that record before. But I do agree with a YouTube comment I came across that this is just an underappreciated record. Too much information. And I've said too much about nothing about this record as it is. So let's let it go. Number 35 on my fancy playlist, October 17th, 1993. Too Much Information by Duran Duran.